You're listening to Speak English with Chat.
On Chat English. Welcome back to Chat English, where we help you speak the way people actually talk. Today, we are going to fix a tiny 3-second mistake that might be secretly destroying your professional confidence. Picture this. It is 3 minutes past 9 in the morning. You are joining a very important virtual meeting, but your audio glitches. You finally get into the room, everyone is staring at you in silence, your heart is pounding, and you instantly blurt out, "I am so sorry, I am late."
I remember sitting in my very first marketing meeting in New York. My microphone did not work for exactly 2 minutes, and I apologized so many times and looked so panicked that my manager actually pulled me aside later and told me to stop acting like I had committed a major crime.
Today, we are sharing a simple mindset flip from guilt to gratitude, and we're giving you the exact copy and paste phrases to use so you can sound incredibly confident instead.
I am so glad we are talking about this today because this is something that weighs heavily on almost every English learner I have ever met.
Exactly. We call it the over-apologizing trap. It's this automatic reflex we have, especially when we're speaking a second language, to just say sorry for absolutely everything.
We say sorry for our English. We say sorry for taking a moment to think. We say sorry for a tiny typo in an email. And we say sorry for just existing in a professional space.
And it comes from a really good place. We want to be polite. We want to show respect to our colleagues and our managers.
Exactly that. We think that by making ourselves smaller and apologizing, we are being respectful. But the truth is, in an English-speaking workplace, over-apologizing actually does the exact opposite.
It really does. It lowers your professional status. It makes you sound subservient, which means acting like you are less important than the people around you.
And nobody wants to be seen that way, especially when you are working hard and contributing great ideas to your team.
So let's play a quick game to show you exactly how this works. We call this our best reply quiz. I'm going to give you 3 ways to handle being late to a meeting, and I want you, the listener, to guess which one is the most natural, confident choice.
I love these quizzes. I am ready.
Okay, here's the scenario. You're 3 minutes late to a team call because your computer had to restart. Option A, "I'm so sorry for the delay. My computer was acting up and I couldn't get in."
Okay, very common.
Option B, "Thanks for your patience, everyone. Let's get started."
Ooh, I like the sound of that one.
And option C, "Sorry to keep you waiting. I feel terrible about this."
I have definitely sent emails that sound exactly like option C. But if we look at the psychology here, the clear winner is option B. Thanks for your patience.
Exactly. Option B is the winner. But Dan, why does option B feel so much better than option A or C?
Because it shifts the entire energy of the room. When you say, "I'm sorry," you are bringing the attention back to your mistake. You're asking the other people to forgive you, which actually puts an emotional burden on them. They have to say, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it."
Wow, Dan, that is such a brilliant way to explain it. You're putting a burden on them to comfort you.
Exactly. But when you say thank you for your patience, you're not talking about your failure anymore. You're praising their virtue. You're giving them a compliment.
That's a beautiful mindset shift. You're acknowledging that their time is valuable and you're thanking them for being gracious. It makes you look like a leader who is in control of the situation, rather than a panicked student who forgot their homework.
And this brings us to our very first scenario for today, being slightly late. This happens to everyone. Traffic, tech issues, a previous meeting running long.
It's completely unavoidable in modern life, so we need to stop treating it like a tragedy.
When we apologize profusely for being 2 minutes late, we are accidentally telling our team that we are disorganized. But if we walk in calmly and use gratitude, we project quiet confidence.
Let's practice this together. We're going to do a pause and reply exercise. This is where you, the listener, will actually speak out loud wherever you are right now.
Don't just listen, actually move your mouth and speak the words. It builds muscle memory.
Imagine you're walking into the conference room. Your boss looks up from her laptop and says, "Ah, there you are." I want you to pause, take a breath, and instead of saying sorry, say, "Thanks for your patience." Ready? "Ah, there you are."
Thanks for your patience.
Perfect. Let's try one more variation of that. If it's a one-on-one meeting, you can say, "I appreciate your patience." Let's practice the pronunciation of appreciate.
That can be a tricky word for a lot of learners because of the soft sh sound in the middle. Appreciate.
Let's say it smoothly together. I appreciate your patience.
I appreciate your patience.
Notice how calm that sounds. You are not rushing, you are not breathing heavily, you are just stating a polite fact.
I had a manager named Sarah years ago who was incredibly busy and occasionally ran late to her weekly check-ins. She never once said she was sorry. She would sit down, smile warmly, and say, "Thank you so much for waiting for me, Dan. Let's dive in." And I always respected her so much for that. It made me feel valued because she thanked me.
That is a perfect real-world example. She protected her own status while making you feel good.
Exactly. Now let us look at the second scenario, which I think causes even more anxiety for English learners than being late.
Making a tiny mistake or a typo.
Yes, the dreaded typo. You send a long report to your team, and 5 minutes later, a colleague replies and says, "Hey, I think the revenue number on page 4 is actually from last year, not this year."
Your stomach just drops when you read that message. The panic is instant.
You feel a hot flash of embarrassment. Your instinct is to immediately type back, "I am so sorry. I can't believe I did that. I will fix it right now. Sorry for the confusion."
And again, while that feels like the polite thing to do, it makes a tiny mathematical error look like a massive disaster.
It draws a huge red circle around your mistake.
Instead, we're going to use a fantastic native phrase. Good catch.
Good catch. I love this phrase so much. But Alice, if someone translates this literally, what does catch mean here? Are we talking about sports?
That is a great question. In this context, to catch something means to notice a hidden error. If you're proofreading a document and you find a spelling mistake, you caught the mistake. So when you tell a colleague, good catch, you're saying, wow, you have great attention to detail. Thank you for noticing that before it became a real problem.
It's such a brilliant phrase because it turns an embarrassing moment into a moment of teamwork. You're high-fiving them for being smart rather than punishing yourself for being stupid.
Let's do a pause and reply for this one. I'm going to be your colleague and I'm pointing out a mistake. You're going to reply out loud with, good catch. I will update that right away. Here we go. Hey, it looks like you spelled the client's name wrong on the second slide.
Good catch. I will update that right away.
Beautiful. The tone is light, professional, and completely unbothered.
Let us look at another grammatical way to handle mistakes using gratitude. We talked about the word appreciate earlier. How can we use appreciate when someone corrects us?
This is one of my favorite grammar structures, and it sounds incredibly advanced and natural. You use the word appreciate, followed by the person, followed by an ing verb, a gerund.
So I wouldn't say I appreciate that you pointed out, right?
No, that sounds a little bit textbook and slightly clunky. The natural way people actually talk is, I appreciate you pointing that out.
Appreciate you pointing that out. That flows perfectly.
Let's break that down so our listeners can really feel the rhythm of it. Appreciate you pointing that out.
Let us practice that together. Say it out loud with us. I appreciate you pointing that out.
You can use this structure for almost anything. If a coworker reminds you about a deadline you forgot, you can say, I appreciate you reminding me.
If someone helps you fix a bug in your code, you can say, I appreciate you catching that.
It's such a warm, collaborative way to communicate. And speaking of collaboration, if you're finding these phrases helpful and you want to keep building your natural English confidence with us every week, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a new conversation.
We have so many more practical workplace and daily life topics coming up, and we would love to have you in the community. Now, let's move to our third scenario, which is something we all have to do constantly in an office or even on Slack and Microsoft Teams, interrupting someone to ask for a favor.
This is a huge trigger for the over-apologizing trap. You need someone to review your document, or you have a quick question about a project, and you walk up to their desk or you open a chat window and you start with, sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you. We hear it all the time.
It sounds polite, right? But think about the psychology of those words. If you tell me that you're a bother, my brain subconsciously starts to agree with you. I start to view you as an annoying interruption.
Exactly that. You're literally programming the other person to be annoyed by your presence. You're framing your completely normal workplace request as a terrible inconvenience.
So, how do we flip this from guilt to gratitude?
We drop the apology entirely. If you're approaching someone's desk or calling them, you start with respect for their time. You say, "Do you have a quick second?" Or "Do you have a minute for a quick question?" And notice the intonation there. Do you have a quick second? The pitch of my voice goes up slightly at the end to sound warm and inviting.
And then, when they finish answering your question, that is when you deliver the gratitude. You say, I really appreciate your time, or thanks for jumping in to help with this.
Let us practice that full sequence. This is a great pause and reply moment. You are going to approach my desk. I'm going to say yes, and then you ask your question. Ready?
I will set the scene. You walk up to your coworker, say out loud, do you have a quick second?
Sure, what is up?
Now ask your question, and when they answer, wrap it up by saying, I really appreciate your time. Let us try it. Say it out loud. I really appreciate your time.
Wow, Alice, that feels so much more empowering than saying sorry to bother you and then sneaking away.
It really does. It changes how you carry yourself in the office. You are an equal member of the team, doing important work. Your questions are not a bother. They are necessary for the success of the business.
I think a lot of learners struggle with this because when you're speaking a language that is not your native tongue, you naturally feel a little bit insecure. You feel like you're taking up too much space or that people are judging your accent or your grammar.
That is exactly the root of the problem. We use apologies as a shield to protect ourselves from judgment. We think, if I apologize first, they cannot be mad at me for my imperfect English.
But the truth is, your colleagues are not judging your grammar nearly as much as you think they are. They just want to communicate and get the work done. When you project confidence through gratitude, people respond to the confidence, not the grammar.
This is a massive realization. Your worth in a company is not based on having flawless, native-level English. Your worth is based on your ideas, your work ethic, and your ability to collaborate.
And replacing apologies with gratitude is the fastest shortcut to showing that collaborative spirit.
Let us take a quiet moment here to explore the gentle truths we have discussed today. We're going to transition into our vocabulary and phrase breakdown to make sure these concepts really stick in your mind.
This is where we slow down and look closely at the words that can help you not only understand English better, but also speak about your professional life in a more natural way.
Our first key phrase today is the core of our entire episode. Over-apologize. Over-apologize.
This means to say you are sorry far more often than is necessary, usually out of nervousness or a desire to be liked. It's a habit of using apologies as a defense mechanism.
Example, she realized that she tends to over-apologize in meetings when she feels nervous. Let us repeat that together. She realized that she tends to over-apologize in meetings when she feels nervous.
Notice the rhythm there. It's such an important habit to break.
Our next beautiful phrase is good catch, good catch.
This is an informal, highly natural way to thank someone for noticing an error, a typo, or a missing detail. It shows that you value their attention rather than feeling embarrassed by your mistake.
Example, good catch on that missing data. I'll update the spreadsheet right now. Let us say it together out loud. Good catch on that missing data. I'll update the spreadsheet right now.
I use that phrase at least 3 times a week. It's a lifesaver.
Here's a slightly more advanced word that describes the feeling we're trying to avoid. Subservient. Subservient.
Subservient means acting like you are less important than others, obeying without question, or putting yourself in a lower position. When we constantly apologize for existing, we appear subservient.
Example, you do not need to act subservient just because you're the newest member of the team. Say it with me. You do not need to act subservient just because you're the newest member of the team.
That's a powerful reminder for anyone starting a new job.
And finally, let us look at our grammar structure one more time because it's so useful. Appreciate plus someone plus an ing verb.
This is how we express specific gratitude for an action someone took. Instead of a generic thank you, it tells them exactly what you value about their behavior.
Example: I appreciate you taking the time to explain this process to me. Let us repeat that nice and smoothly. I appreciate you taking the time to explain this process to me.
Wow, Alice, I feel like we just handed our listeners a superpower. Shifting from guilt to gratitude doesn't just change your English, it actually changes how you feel inside your own mind.
Same here, Dan. It's amazing how much reflection a simple mindset shift can bring. The words we choose to speak actually shape the reality we live in. When you speak with confidence and gratitude, you begin to feel confident and grateful.
If you're listening right now, we hope this conversation gave you not just better workplace English, but also a deeper sense of clarity about your own professional worth. You belong in those rooms, and your voice matters.
And as always, your practice does not stop just because the episode is ending. We have a specific challenge for you to try today.
For the next 24 hours, I challenge you to be hyper aware of how many times you type the word sorry in your emails or your team chats. Just count them.
When you catch yourself typing sorry for the delay or sorry to bother you, delete it. Take a breath and replace it with one of our gratitude phrases. See how people respond to you. I promise you will notice a difference.
And to help you master this, do not forget you can download the free PDF guide for today's episode using the link below. It includes the full vocabulary list, the exact copy and paste email templates we discussed, and a short reflection exercise to help you build this habit.
We also want to hear from you. Think about your workday tomorrow. What is one specific situation where you normally panic and say, I am sorry? Go down to the comments right now and rewrite that situation using appreciate you plus an ing verb. We read every single comment, and we love seeing your progress.
We have so many more episodes coming your way, full of real English, natural phrases, and topics that truly matter to your daily life.
So until then, be kind to yourself, keep practicing, and remember that confidence is a language you can learn just like any other. Thanks for spending your time with us today. We will see you in the next episode right here on Chat English.